I do believe we were talking about heads on the floor before we started this podcast, and we said now's the time to start this podcast because we were discussing heads in, what was it, your pencil case?
In my pencil case.
Heads fell out of your pencil case in school. Now, this is a way to start the show.
Yes.
This is...
All right, so should I just open up with the story?
Award-winning right here. Let's go.
All right, so 7th grade, religion class, sitting down, I have my workbook. It's a workbook that we got, so it wasn't like I was vandalizing any school property. It was just a regular
She's not
workbook.
an Andy.
And I thought it'd be funny to cut out the heads of the like models in the book and then randomly place them around like my classrooms because it was 7th grade, we had weird teachers, and like everybody was just kind of like, yeah, let's just do whatever we want because these teachers are annoying and bad.
Oh yeah, 7th grade was awful.
Yeah, some terrible teachers. So
they deserve little heads everywhere.
So what were the reactions? Like, would you see the reactions of when they saw it?
Honestly, there was so much weirdness in that class that it was just another one of those like, now what is this doing here kind of reaction as they just...
What was some of the other weirdness in this religious class?
I don't know. I mean, like, we had like a 3 strike system. It was always during religion class too, because that was like the one like class where all of the main kids in the in our class would be there, and it was just kind of like a calmer class that wasn't as strict. So she would always have this 3 strike system where she would write your name, and then she would write like how many marks, like if you were acting up, and then there was always so many marks on the board because kids would just find a way to get 2 marks and then wouldn't get the 3rd mark so that you wouldn't get like a think sheet.
Now, was this just for a day or this just stayed up on the board forever? Like how?
No, yeah, it would stay on. No, she would have it per class because all the classes would have this. And you'd go to the next class and you'd come back and you'd see that like there's like 10 marks on the board.
Please tell me you put some heads up next to some of the names.
No, I was subtle.
Yes, they were very discreet.
Where did your heads end up?
One head ended up in like a
How
fake
big were the
sunflower.
heads?
They varied.
Okay.
Depending on and I didn't have any like big ones, you know. They were primarily smaller.
Yeah, just like okay.
I remember I stuck one to like the bottom of like the whiteboard holder where it held the chalk.
Okay. If you're just tuning in, just to let you know, my daughter is not talking about actual severed heads. She's talking about heads that were cut out of a magazine. Just to clarify here, just wanna. I know everybody's into the whole Dahmer thing and all that kind of stuff, but calm down.
But like your teachers never had to look at your workbook because if they would have like had to flip through your workbook,
it would have been interesting. It would have been like
of missing heads.
I think I might have actually got it from the previous religion workbook that we had from the last year.
So you're
because I'm pretty sure I was at home and I was like, oh, I forgot my book. I can't cut out the heads. And then I was like, wait a second, I might still have my workbook from last year. And then I was able to cut it out from there.
See, problem solving. That's what you do when you can't use the heads from this year. You go back and you cut the heads out from last year.
Exactly, because there were many times too where there were some times where like if a kid didn't want to do like work, they would just rip out the page and then they'd be like, oh, I just didn't get the page, and she'd be like, I see the rip is there. Oh no, audio just got weird. But that was something. That was just the wacky. I'm trying to think if there's any other stories from 7th grade. I mean, what I would do, she would always, if like everybody was acting up too much, she'd always be like, put your head down.
Oh yes.
Everybody put your head down.
This was a teacher.
So everybody would put their heads down on the table, and then I would go like this.
You guys were treated like kindergartens.
But I would go like this with my head down. And I would do that for like 10 minutes, and she'd be like, one person is not putting their head down. And then she'd walk over to me, and I'd just keep my head down, and I'd be like, putting my head down. And I would stall for like 10 to 15 minutes.
That's where you're my daughter. That's where these I call it like a stupid stubbornness. It's like a stupidness. It's
it was 7th grade. I agree. 7th grade was a mess. They had horrible teachers that year.
I think it was 7th grade that I actually got kicked out of because I actually I was typing class, and I went in and I sat at the back of the class and I refused to type, and I had literally cut the end of my finger off like a couple of days before, and when the teacher said, why can't you type? I said, because I cut the end of my finger off, and she said, really? And she said, let me see, and I went like that, and I was immediately thrown out of the class.
Was that the finger?
That was the finger.
Oh.
I mean, did I have to go like that? I mean, I apologize. It's not to you. It's Dakota can put a happy smiley face or something on that. She can make it happy because we don't
Or you could blur it out.
Yeah, we'll do anything fun.
How
with
vulgar.
It. You have to cut a head out, one of the heads from your magazine. I want over my finger. That's what I want there.
I'll see if I can find any photos of the heads.
That's where this show is going. And then what happened was we started off with you had a bunch of them in your...
Yeah, so I kept them all in my pencil case for quick usage if I needed to just place a head or give it to someone. That was the thing, too. We almost kind of had, like, head trading where it'd be like, you want to...
Head trading. Head trading.
You want a picture of this praying girl? For,
Oh, okay. I can't. All right.
So I had them all in my pencil case, and one day I dropped my pencil case, and it just it was one of those ones that just opened and closed, so it opened up, and all the heads went everywhere. Aww. So my immediate reaction was to scream, "My heads!" I was scared out of my mind because that was the last thing you want, like anyone that didn't know about like
your head.
How many of your friends knew about this?
A large majority.
Okay, at least a lot. But there were still
and you
a couple
said
of
they
kids
were trying to help you.
Just kind of like, what the heck is...
Yeah, like most of the boys and then like most of the girls too, like kind of knew because like they would also just randomly place heads. I'd just be like, here, take it, you know, want a place to put it. But there were still some kids that I feel like walked by that didn't know and just kind of like walked away, like what?
Oh, your heads.
The second the teacher started like slightly walking around to see what was going on, I was like, no, we gotta go. I can't let this happen.
So you're known as like the head collector to some kids that have no idea what that's... Now they can possibly find out and have an answer, but they were just like, I went to school with this girl who kept heads in her pencil case.
Either that or they'd be like, in my classroom, I couldn't understand why I was finding these heads everywhere. I think the teacher was leaving it to spook us.
School. Good times.
Good times.
Yeah, school.
So funny, your head story.
That's a heck of a start.
Yeah. The 7th grade shenanigans.
The 7th grade.
7th grade
Head
shenanigans.
shenanigans.
It was fun.
Wow.
But that's just a prime example of what my 7th grade was. Because again, we just had crazy teachers.
Oh, it was horrible. That was the worst year.
And then that was the same year we got that like project where it was like 80 pages.
You had to cut everything out. It was such a waste of time. It was just...
And she gave us like 2 days to do it, and like you guys did most of the
Yeah,
cutting.
we started cutting.
Oh, I remember that. Yes, I do remember that.
Because it was like 80 pages of cutting out these small things and then having to
just place them
in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a waste of time.
She missed some papers too because it was 80 pages for like 50 kids. So 80 times 50, 4,000.
Don't look at me.
I think.
If you know the answer, leave it in the comments.
No, 4,000.
4,000?
I believe, yeah.
Oh, Lord.
So at school, printing out casually 4,000 pages.
Getting that all, they were definitely missing.
So there was missing pages.
Missing pages.
And then she didn't even end up grading it.
What a waste of paper, a waste of time.
I was mad at the waste of paper because it was like...
Yeah, that's a lot of paper
No, some kids just didn't do it. They were just like, no. And then so many kids didn't do it.
And then she didn't grade.
No, like 40 kids did it, and then like 10 kids didn't. And then she was like, nah. And we didn't even get extra credit.
It was such a waste. That's something, I felt like that was almost like an exercise that she would have done for like her kindergarten class, like in a smaller scale to practice cutting.
But now she has
Not for 7th grade.
Now she has the extremely difficult life of homeschooling.
Oh, yeah.
What time did you get up this morning? Actually, you're doing very good, though.
No, not today.
I got to give you...
No, today
I gotta take
today.
it back. I was...
today I woke up at like 9.
But still, for you, that's actually... I know that you're doing much better.
Yeah.
But for a while there were mornings... It was like noon. We'd be like, have you seen Dakota? I'd be like, have you heard her yet? We're like, I don't know. Homeschooling.
Yes, that's
the life.
The easy life. It's very easy.
It is.
Like, I can't.
But you're doing awesome, and that's the most important thing, along with
Yes.
everything else that you're doing. Like we're constantly talking about on here, because you're doing great things. You're creating a business. You're inspiring us to continue on. And again, it's been a crazy week here, and I literally just got home not too long ago, scarfed down some dinner. We had to get Jaden ready, and then she came up, and she was like, are we doing a podcast? And I said, are we doing a podcast? And she said, yes. So I said, we're doing a podcast. Because I wasn't exactly ready, but when she says
Yeah,
go.
we were supposed to do it on Wednesday.
When Wednesday turned out to be
That was
a bit
another long day.
But yeah, I started taking care of myself, going to a wellness and health center. Again, thank you to these two right here. Started with chiropractic adjustments, acupuncture, physical therapy, occupational therapy, just so much. Just the acupuncture alone. Today was my second time of acupuncture. Just in the first one alone, just relieving the stress in my back, in my upper back, is just these past 2 nights, just laying in bed.
Yeah.
It's just been, as we all just sit up a little,
I know.
as we all just work on our posture just a little bit more. We're
Now
just
that
like,
you mention it.
we're not going to be too bad here. But it's nice to know that I don't have to feel that way every day. I don't have to be in pain every day. I don't have to hurt all the time.
No.
It's good to feel good. It's a good feeling. And again, I have you guys to thank.
And you're just starting.
I'm just starting.
And
I
you're
think
just
I got
starting.
like 3 months ahead of me. 3 days a week. And,
3 days a week for 3 months.
Not looking forward to going out in the wintertime, but it's
It's going to be worth it because
it's
you're going to be
definitely
feeling
gonna
good.
worth it, so,
Yeah. And it's all natural. All
good
natural.
stuff.
Good stuff.
Woohoo! Getting strong now. Do a little Rocky.
Music.
Get a
we
slab
can't
of
put
meat.
music.
Go get a slab of meat. I'll start.
Slab of meat.
Slab of meat that we get in the freezer.
I'll just have like a little chicken cutlet. You'll
With,
punch
the
it'll fly out of my
plastic
hand.
wrapping and everything.
It's all saran wrapped.
I'll just bring it down in the package. Keep it sealed.
We'll make the best of it. That's we work with what we got. That's what we do.
I have that visual now.
Ugh.
You punching a raw chicken cutlet across the room.
It's what we do.
Good times.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. We,
That's what we do.
punch raw
we
chicken.
punch raw meat. That's what we do.
That's our thing.
We cut up models' faces in magazines. We
That's right. Cut heads.
punch raw chicken.
That is,
Punch raw chicken.
There's
There's nothing strange with any of the things we do.
I just love the fact that there were kids there that day that had no idea what was going on. They literally just saw a bunch of heads just fall out, and then
Yeah.
you scream,
My heads.
"My heads!" I'm sure there's a couple of kids out there that's still in their, they may be in therapy, and that may come
So
up.
did you decide not to keep it in your pencil case after that incident?
No, I think I did. I think I was like, didn't get caught this time, so I'll be fine.
Live life on the edge. Why not?
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen?
You and your heads.
And what would have been your answer if you would have had to have explained,
Yeah.
Dakota, why is there
Why are there a bunch of heads?
heads, and where did you get them from?
It'd be like I'm doing an art project.
It's true. No, I probably would have been like, oh, they're not mine, or something. Like, I'm holding them for someone else.
You're hoarding somebody else's heads.
Somebody else
I
said,
think-
"Hey, could you hold these heads for me?"
I think that's what 7th grade me would have went with. The it's not mine mentality. Just like, I don't know who these are. I'm just holding it for someone else. You can ask the person that's holding them. And then if they would have asked who, I would have been like, oh, you don't know him.
It's my friend from Canada.
It's my
She sent
neighbor.
these heads over to me. And I have to
It's my neighbor, so I have to take him to school with me.
They're illegal in Canada right now, so I'm holding them till they're okay, and then I'm going to send them back. But I have to keep them with me so they're
Head holding is illegal in
So,
Canada.
so head holding is illegal.
healthy. Again, nothing on this show is real. Again, do not take anything for fact here. It's a bunch of babble. That's what the sign says.
What were you gonna ask?
So I don't think you would have gotten very far with that answer, though.
No, with the teacher I had.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
You think they would have just given up on you and not wanted to know? Okay.
Yeah, because I would have been absolutely consistent of like, I don't know what these are. I don't know what this is. It's just in my pencil case. Don't ask me any
I
questions.
don't even know how they got here. You said, how did these get here?
And then all my friends would have backed me up too.
Well, that's the good thing. At least you're all...
Yeah.
everybody had each other's backs. That's the good thing about the good friendship of school. That's the one
right.
thing I do miss is the camaraderie, the laughter, the fun.
Yeah, that was
Not the schoolwork though. Nothing about the schoolwork.
yeah that
Yes.
that was the fun part about the end of being at that school because I was at that school for 10
Since
years.
pre-K.
So
Yeah.
a lot of my core memories do come from that school, but towards the end there, you saw everybody be together as like young kids, and then we all formed our own groups and we all became our own people, and then towards the end of the year we all got really close, and then quarantine hit, and everybody just disappeared, and it was like, good, I don't want to see you guys again. It's been too long. I've seen you all for like 10 years.
You had a good group of kids there. That was.
That's funny.
I'm just the one thing that still bothers me about that whole thing is that you guys were working on
the play.
the play, which what was it? The Disney
Moana.
Moana, and you were going to be
Hey.
hey. I was so and the excitement, like I saw, like when all you guys came out too, and it was just like, and then COVID hit, and it was just like they're never going to get to do that play.
Yeah, and the teacher was crying, and
Oh.
I mean, I was kind of over
crying.
it. Vanya.
Was she?
Yeah.
Aw.
No, she really liked our class. You could tell.
Aw.
I mean, also because we were like we had the fire in 6th grade, the terrible teachers in 7th grade.
Yeah.
So also like
They knew what you guys
in
had been
7th
through.
grade, we were kind of known as like these like we were the bad kids. Like everybody was like, these kids are like more out of hand than like any other 7th graders.
Make
Like
me proud.
like we were the troubled kids, and then they realized what
the
happened,
teachers.
and
Yeah.
then once we went to 8th grade, everybody was fine, and we were all good, and then they
Yeah.
realized like, what, this
It was just the
wasn't the
teachers.
You
kids'
had a
fault.
rough,
Right,
you
it
had a
was
rough
the
couple of
teachers.
years. I mean, massive fire. And that was nerve-wracking, too, because we had created a project which had electronics in it. And the first thing I asked when you said, I said, what part of the building was the fire in? And where was, what was the name of it?
Aton? Aton?
Aten. Yeah, Aten.
It was the,
It's actually a form of the sun god, because the actual sun god in Egyptian mythology is Ra. But it's
Yes.
like one of the forms of, because I later on looked it up when I was studying Egyptian mythology, and I was like, it isn't like one of the main characters, so it's one of the like the alternative versions or one of the pieces of a sun
Yeah.
god.
I mean, that was the thing. Your art projects there, we always had fun, and that one I love too. Again,
Yeah.
I gotta find a picture. We'll throw
Yeah,
that up.
yeah.
It was lighted on the inside, and we actually had like batteries and stuff. So when
Yeah.
they had the fire, because they kept it there, and I was just like, where are they keeping that? And where was the fire? I was like, oh, that was the last thing. I
You
went
did
through.
that like whole project though, like.
I always enjoy. I mean,
No, but
I
it was just
love
so
art
funny walking
projects.
into the classroom being like, yep,
Yep.
that was me. Even though, like, I was probably just sitting there, like, on my iPad as you were, like, doing the...
No, I
You're
think
like,
I made
good
I
job,
made you
Dad.
do the stuff in the arms. I think I made you paint the stuff in the arms.
Yes, you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, I did.
But you did the majority of the
Well,
work.
it
And then
was-
I walked in, like, guys.
I'm
Good? Am I good? Am I good?
I'm that parent though. It's I go way above and beyond. It's,
Well, you built a pirate ship for the...
I was about to say, you would make the...
He built a pirate ship for...
You would make the cardboard... Yeah, things
That's
for
what I'm
the-
saying. He did a...
You made the boat, I feel. Did
Yes.
you make the boat one year?
I did. Yeah. Well, I did the canoe. You did the. It was the person in the canoe.
I did the person, you did the canoe, and then you did like a
pirate
ship.
and I did the
Pirate
coral.
ship.
The coral on the wall with the fish was.
We
really
did the
cool.
coral. Yeah.
That was all styrofoam.
That was fun.
And then what else? Somebody did a sign. Did you do a sign?
I did.
You did a sign
That's
as
right.
well.
Welcome to Madagascar.
Because I remember
That's right, yeah.
I remember too, like, all the kids wanted it, and then they did like a raffle on like who got the sign.
I'm so proud, first of all, because
We should be.
it was made out of cardboard.
Let's
And
start
then there was
creating
a
artwork
lemur.
and
I made a
raffling it off for crying
lemur.
out
There was a
loud.
lemur that was hanging, and his tail was
I
around the
remember that.
thing.
Yes, I do.
There's pictures. We will post pictures.
gotta find
we will
them.
show.
You gotta
We will pop
find
some
them.
pictures in there.
We're just gonna pop some pictures in there.
But yeah,
But yeah, everybody was like, I want the sign, no, I want the sign, and then I had to raffle it
that's
off.
so awesome.
Because like they knew it was either gonna be thrown out, so a bunch of people were like, I want the
I know
the sign.
that's so cool.
Arts and crafts is always fun. It's always it's a great form of therapy. We do a lot of it with Jaden. We do a lot of it with you.
And then one year too, because this was all for what was it called? It was basically this
Multicultural day.
multicultural day. Yeah,
I was going to say
It was-
multi-international.
Yeah, mate,
It was
whatever.
this event that we had in our school where I think it was 2 days, but we'd prepared like we usually prepared like weeks before, but then later on they made it like every couple days a month you prepared so that you wouldn't like squeeze in the end.
Right.
But everybody would design their classrooms with the different like country
Fun.
or
Yeah, it
place.
was fun. It was a lot of fun.
So I'm trying to think of some examples.
Well, they would
places
have
we
food on the day.
Oh, like
Yeah,
places
so
that they would
on the
have?
first day, we would go to all the different classrooms and they'd teach you history about these places. And like I remember like they probably had like Dubai, where they talked about like Dubai. That was just the first place that came to mind. And then you'd do a little project. You'd make something. It was like very crafty. You'd make something. You'd get like a little souvenir. You'd play a little game that they play in that culture, and then the second day, they would have the food, and then everybody would do a dance.
Right.
Related to.
Right, to the country.
To the country. Wow.
Sometimes they'd wear
Heritage,
something that was...
Yes, yeah.
It was very cool. Yeah. It was a very cool thing.
Yeah,
that they
it was
did.
a lot of fun.
Well, it was
fun.
a great way to learn about different places around the world.
Yeah.
And obviously didn't do that good of a job because you can't remember anything. So,
No.
that's school for you. So if you want to drop
I
out,
do
go ahead and drop
remember
out.
Miami. They did cities one time because I remember Miss Slater had Miami.
Oh, I don't remember that.
I remember that year because I remember she did a...
School.
Oh, no, was it?
If I would have cared
Miami?
about school more, I would have remembered. Like now, I love history. Like
And you guys had Madagascar, obviously, because
Yeah.
I did the Welcome to Madagascar sign.
Yeah, no, it was always fun. I remember always having to bring this stuff in. There's Thor saying hello. Okay.
That's right. And then we did the... you had Italy. Was it Italy?
I don't think we had it.
You had something.
Again, I don't know.
Because I did... Because you did the... not
The gondola.
The gondola.
The
And I
gondola,
did the
you did
little
the
guy
gondola.
with the little mustache.
Yeah, that's correct.
Then that
yes.
must have been middle school, I believe.
Yes, that was middle school. But then once you got like to like 8th grade, or or I think it was 7th grade, or no, I think it was 8th that they said that you guys do primarily everything.
Yeah.
So it was just like, but
There
then
was one
pandemic
year-
hit anyway. So
Yeah, there was one year where like I did paper mache for like a tree.
yes,
It was like 4th or 5th grade where they asked like a couple kids and immediately a bunch of us were like, yeah, because we were going to get out of class. And we were like, paper mache, so.
Listen,
yeah.
you've always been very. I remember the. What was your superhero? You still have the thing on your door, don't you? Or
No.
You did for a while though, at least.
Yeah.
But
Super singer.
you're super.
That was in like kindergarten, 1st grade.
But that was fun. You created that whole
Super
outfit.
singer.
And
Yeah, she had her little wings.
Yes, it was fun.
She had a microphone. She was a super singer.
I was a super singer. That was the start of my writing career.
There you go.
Went from that to my psychological horror.
Slightly unsettling.
It's not a
Yeah.
surprise that the girl who carried heads around in her pencil case is working on a psychological horror game. It's ooh, that's a surprise. I can see
Yeah.
that's. Gonna
We didn't
be,
see that
That's going to be
coming.
in your bio. She carried heads around in her pencil case. Yeah, I'm sure it adds to the. I'm sure Stephen King did something like that too. So I'm sure it's a good thing. So it's.
It's a sign of creativity.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
Creativity. It's what we strive on. It's what we inspire each other for. Again, I thank you guys for your inspiration, for everything that you guys are keeping everything going. And that one over there is really pushing. But we're all pushing each other, not only for our creativity, but for our health now. And again, I thank you for that.
Yes.
Again, just feeling better is absolutely just amazing. I mean, we work on taking care of ourselves mentally as much as we can, and physically now too. We really got to push and really got to make sure everybody's feeling good.
Yes.
Stick around for the long run and keep doing these stupid babbles and keep laughing and keep telling these wonderful stories of heads in pencil cases.
Yes.
Fantastic.
That is,
We're so proud.
we are. I am proud.
It's the only thing that I like slightly miss about school. And I say slightly. When I mean slightly, I mean slightly. I don't miss school at all. But it was the stupidity of that, which you can't even really get away with now in high school. It's just not the same. The drama isn't the silly.
No, it's just heavy.
Yeah.
It's a lot heavier.
I'd rather write heavy than experience heavy.
Yeah.
Which you
Could be
do
around.
very well. And you have to deal with us in school, so you have to deal with the principals here.
Yeah.
You don't even know what time she gets up.
I know what time she gets up now.
No, she is. She's doing awesome.
She's doing much
She
better
is.
now.
She's doing absolutely
She's
awesome.
on a routine now.
We're all getting on
Schedule.
routines. We're all getting on schedules, and that's a big thing that we're finding is helping too. Just
Yeah,
trying to
scheduling.
scheduling is a big thing. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
definitely
it's
something that we're
important.
all working with. And
I can manage my 700 hobbies and 500 projects.
Right.
yes. Again, so we're looking
Scheduled
for
weekdays,
instruments,
open weekends.
Cool synths.
cool synths.
If you have like a random synth that your grandfather picked up at a local thrift store, like, what's this strange device? And it's just collecting dust, send it over. I might be able to
Synths.
Dabble with it.
Synths.
Any old
Synths.
recording fun stuff?
Amps.
Any amps?
Amps.
Any old
Synths.
fun stuff you got? Let us know.
If you have any Vocaloid voice banks, the ones in the boxes with like the characters on it, that like costs a lot of money, and if you happen to have one of those,
Yeah.
it's like it's a box and it has the CD, and then that CD has all the voice banks on it, and then like if you get the physical box version of the voice banks, then it comes in a CD.
Oh.
Alrighty.
And you have to
Keep an eye
So-
out for the UPS, and I'm sure they'll be coming in by the dozens.
That's right. Everybody will be sending their voice banks in.
Because you can have the physical version of the character voice bank. It's pretty cool, but it costs more.
Anybody
Everything
has
costs
that?
more.
All right, Ian.
If anybody has any
The economy.
The economy.
Vocaloid hooks?
It's Christmas time, and I'm broke.
Yeah. Everyone's broke this
Yes.
time of the year.
Cheers to
Cheers.
that. Oof. What do we want to?
He's like,
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what would go with that. Yeah, that's just that's
Yeah,
just
that's fitting.
that time of year. It's. But we can't end on that note. We got to end on a happy note. We got to end on. Again, we're all doing great things. We're all feeling better. I think we're all working on things. We're going to be doing a jewelry show soon.
yes.
We're gonna have some family over this weekend. We're gonna hopefully sit down with Jenna, and we're gonna talk a whole lot of fun stuff with her, and we'll see who else from the family we can get down here. And I think look forward to just having some more good vibes down here in the basement
Yes.
with the Babble.
With the backbones.
Some live guests. Some live moving guests.
Yes, moving. Why? Because my first 3 episodes, just because I had who'd I have? I had the Robin Williams sleeping bag. I think I had the Mr. Bean cardboard cutout.
Sully,
And I had
yeah.
Sully and Mike.
Yeah.
It's Sully and Mike. Had,
So my first 3 episodes.
I think he had Spider-Man too.
I think I did have Spider-Man. Yeah, so I had
Well, then you also had the first episode where you were figuring out how to do things.
yes, that was my first official podcast. I mean, I did a million Instagram lives, but the podcasting.
Once we get to like episode 100, you're gonna have to do a reacting to your first episode.
That would be fun. That's fun. See, you got all the great ideas. You
'Cause I'm
really
on the
do.
internet.
And we're on
She
we're
knows
on
the
41.
internet.
This is this is the second time we're filming 41, but the last episode was. Like I said, we're gonna
chop that
We're gonna
up.
cut that one. There's gonna be some fun.
We're
stuff
gonna
out
use
of
it
that
as little
one.
segments here
that
and there.
Was that was an interesting episode, but there'll be pieces of that over time. Yeah. Good stuff. All right.
Good stuff.
We're getting yawns now, so it's
time for
That's
cake.
the official time. Is it? Is it cake time?
I'm in the mood for cake.
All right. Well, whatever time it is by you, I just want you to know it's cake time.
Cake time.
It
Cake
is
and milk, preferably.
Cake time.
You're getting better with the soundboard.
Yeah.
Quick. Okay.
All right.
She's like, I didn't mean to make a joke, but all right. Fantastic.
All righty.
You ready?
You ready?
For what?
For what? For the ending.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Lead us out tonight.
The peace,
The peace,
the love,
the love,
and the laughter.
and the laughter.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. It's like the crickets are going to the beat of the music.
See, what's goes?
Yeah.
Crickets still going. Okay, music and laughs. Who's gonna go longest?
Music is gonna go longer.
Music
yeah.
is gonna go longer.
I could barely hear the laughs.